Hello,
Hi everyone,
and welcome back to Brody's Chess on YouTube. Today we are going to talk about some chess terms that you might not know of. So there's a bunch, so we're just doing A to K. Our next video will be from L to Z. So this is part 1. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for part 2. Exactly. So Brody and I are going to take turns asking each other what certain chess terms mean. If you're a beginner chess player, you might not know a lot of these. If you're more advanced, you might be very familiar with most of these, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments if you learned any new chess terms from our video.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to start. Brody, do you want to read the term and I'll tell them what it means? An advanced pawn. What is an advanced pawn? So that is a pawn on the opponent's side of the board. So when the pawn is on the opposite side of the board. Okay, Brody, your word is announced mate.
So the practice of announcing mate in a number when the player believes they can force a checkmate in that number of moves.
So for example, I could say mate in 2, and that means I am confident that I'm going to get checkmate in 2 moves. So that's when you announce the mate. Okay, next term is?
Bear king.
A bear king. What do we think a bear king means? Bear kind of means like naked or, yeah. A bear king actually is a situation when the king is the player's only piece that's left.
Yeah.
So it's the only piece that you're playing with. And typically, if that's the only piece you have left,
you want a stalemate.
Yeah, you would try your best to get a stalemate. Otherwise, you'll likely lose.
Yeah.
Okay. Next term is called a big pawn. And it's not a big pawn.
It's not
it means something else.
It's not like a big pawn.
No, it means something else. Want to read what it means? The big pawn? Right here.
A bishop stuck behind 2 of its own pawns in defending them.
Yeah. So if we had 2 pawns on the board, a bishop would be behind them, defending them. So if one of the pawns was captured, the bishop would just take that other piece.
Yeah.
Okay. Next term, Brody, do you want to ask? Blitz chess. Blitz chess. So that is a very fast game of chess. So you're playing chess in a short time limit. Typically, if you're playing online, it's 3 to 5 minutes maybe, usually around 3 minutes. That's not something that Brody has done very often. He usually doesn't set such a short time limit. Okay, the next term is called a blunder. Do you know what a blunder is?
A very bad move.
It is a very bad move when you make a bad move in the game.
Yeah, like if you accidentally move your queen and then it gets captured.
Yes, that would be a blunder. And beginners make a lot of blunders because they're just learning, right?
Yeah.
The better you get, the less blunders you make.
Yeah.
Okay, next term is?
Coffee house.
Oh, we skipped one. Bullet chess. So bullet chess is a very, very fast game, faster than blitz, and that is when each player only has 1 minute to play. So that's crazy. That's when you're watching a game and people are like, it's very hard to keep up with. And you have to be very advanced to play those types of games well.
Because you need to know where to, you can't just move like there, like
your brain has to work super fast.
Yeah, like you can't just move like there, there, like you can't just move random
You can't
pieces.
think very long before you move.
You need to kind of a little know what you're doing.
Exactly.
You can't just move around. Everyone can do that, but like you need to know what you're doing.
Exactly. Okay. And then you said before the next term is
Coffee house.
coffee house. Do you want to tell them what that means?
A risky move that sets up traps for the opponent.
So you're trying to set up a trap for the other player. Okay, and then a counter gambit.
A gambit offered by black.
So usually if white offers the gambit, and we've done a bunch of videos on gambits, so you can watch those to learn more about gambits. But if black offers a gambit in return, that's a counter gambit. Okay, next term is called
Cross check.
a cross check, and that is a check that's played in reply to a check. So a check right after a check.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what is a crush?
Slang for a quick win, especially in overwhelming attack against weak play.
Yeah. So that means you win really quickly. If you're really good, the other person's not that great. They're playing weak. That means you crushed them. Yeah. Okay. Next term.
Dead draw.
A dead draw. That is when neither player could realistically win. You both pretty much know it's going to be a draw, which is a tie.
Yeah, you might just like play it out really fast.
Yeah, or you might just say, you know what, draw, sure. Okay. Next is a decoy.
A tactic of
Luring
an
enemy
piece to a square where it couldn't be attacked.
Where it could be attacked. So a decoy is you're trying to trick them. You're trying to get them to move their piece to a square where you can then attack it.
Yeah.
You're trying to be sneaky. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you kind of figure out their plan and you think they will just follow their plan and then they move there, but then the piece just
they don't understand that you're trying to trick them, but
Yeah.
that's what you want. Okay. The next term is
Eagle.
no, it's edge. So if you have an edge over another player, that means you have an advantage over the other player. An edge means you're doing a bit better. Okay? So what is an exchange?
Where like it's usually pawns, but like I'm just gonna like
Yeah.
So like if we're here, black takes, white takes, it's a trade.
It's pretty much a trade of pieces of equal value.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to do the trade
Of a queen and a pawn.
Exactly.
Even though you still get a piece.
And it's most common, as he said, to do with pawns.
Yeah.
Because there's so many of them.
Yeah, because like if you trade queens, then you don't have any more queens. But if you trade a pawn, you still have a bunch of pawns.
Okay, so the next term is 50 move rule. Do you know what the 50 move rule is? You have 50 moves that you each play, and what happens after 50 moves?
It's a tie.
Either player can claim a draw. Yeah. So 50 moves. That is a way to end a game if it's going on for too long.
File.
A file. A file, it's a column on the chessboard. It's actually called a file. Next word is hard to pronounce. It's called finger feller.
A move
caused
by accidentally touching the wrong piece or moving it
to the wrong
square.
Yeah. So if you accidentally moved your queen into a spot where she could be taken, that's called a finger filler.
Yeah.
That's something you're like, oh no, what did I
like,
do?
Like if you like that, like if I let's say I did like that by accident, I didn't want to do that.
But it's too late. Once you touch it move it, you can't take it back. Okay.
But if you were like that, you could take it back, but you still.
But if you moved it and then you're like, oh crap, what did I just do?
If you moved it and then let go, and then a few seconds later, you can't just take it back.
Exactly. Okay. And then the next term is?
Forked move.
Forced move. That is the only good move that a player can make. So you're forced to make that move because it's your only option of a good move. Okay. And the next is a fork.
Yeah.
You know what's a fork?
Like if my queen and my rook and my king maybe are like all being attacked by the same piece.
Yes. So if
it's usually with the king involved.
Sometimes, yeah, if you're trying to get the king into checkmate, and another piece, if the king moves, could be taken.
Yeah.
So 2 of your opponent's pieces are being targeted at the exact same time, and you can really only save one of them. That's why it's a fork. You have to pick which piece is more important to save. And if the king is involved, obviously you have to save the king and sacrifice something else. Okay. What is a handicap in chess?
An advantage given to the
weaker
player to increase his or her chance of winning.
Yeah. So it's an advantage given to the weaker player. So if you were playing someone who's never played chess before, handicap might be they get 5 extra minutes on the clock. Something like that. Some sort of advantage.
Or you need to make one bad move.
That could be your decision if you were creating the handicap, if you were making your own rules, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And next term is? Hanging. So that means one of your pieces, it's hanging. It's unprotected and it's exposed. So the opposite player could capture it.
Yeah,
it's out there in the open, it's not protected, it's in danger.
Everywhere it moves, it's taken.
Yeah, or it's just there and free for the other person to capture. That's a hanging piece. Okay. Next term is increment.
The amount of time added to the chess clock before or after a player's move.
Mm-hmm. So when you're playing timed games, using a clock, which eventually we're going to show you how the clock works in a chess game, you can add time to the clock by making a move and then getting a little extra time, or your clock can just go down in time depending on what type of game you're playing and what the rules are for that game.
Yeah.
But we'll do a series on clocks later.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the next term is hard to pronounce. It's called interpose.
To move a piece
between
an attack piece and its target, preventing the attack.
Yeah. So if you have a piece and this guy's trying to capture it, you can move one of your other pieces like a pawn in front of it so that this piece takes the pawn instead of maybe the bishop.
Yeah.
Okay. We have 2 more terms for the letter K. What is the first one? Kick. That is to force a piece to move by attacking it. So if I'm trying to attack your queen, I'm forcing you to move your queen.
Yeah, like no one can block it. Like you can't block
I'm forcing you to move it because you want to save it. Okay, so that's kicking your piece. And the last term is called Kotov's syndrome. I don't know if I pronounced that exactly correct, but Kortov syndrome.
A
Phenomenon.
A phenomenon where a player is under pressure by time to think of a move and decides a move quickly and without much
thought. So if you're being timed and you're running out of time, you're like, oh no, what do I do? You just move a piece quickly so that you don't get eliminated by the time running out. And
yeah, you just keep doing.
You just
all you
keep playing as fast as you can because you want to stay in the game. You don't want to run out of time, because if your clock runs out faster than your opponent's clock, you lose.
Automatically lose.
Yeah.
Before the game ends. But if the game already ends, then nothing happens with the clock.
Exactly. Okay, so those were a bunch of chess terms. Hopefully you learned something from this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. And
don't forget to subscribe and make a like and share this video with your friends.
Yes, and stay tuned for more videos. We'll do the rest of the chess terms in part 2. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
Bye.